Hey everyone, Dockwell here, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be looking at the patch 7.30b that just came out the other day. We're just going to do a quick overview of it, very brief summary, just looking at each item and each buff or nerf to the heroes to kind of change what was obviously overpowered that they found out from 7.30. So first item changes, Helm of the Overlord just costs more now with its recipe, and so this was the item that we pretty much thought everyone was like, okay, this may be completely broken. It could still be dead, but maybe it's the reason that Beastmaster and Lykan come back into the meta. And it turns out that that was the case after all, that this item was completely broken, and Beastmaster and Lykan are now the really good heroes that are just ending the game super quickly. And so that's why you see here with the hero changes, we have Beastmaster and Lykan are probably both getting nerfed, and also Helm of the Overlord is getting nerfed. I don't think that these nerfs are going to be enough to dissuade people from picking these heroes and getting this item. I just think that it was so overpowered, they're just kind of nerfing it a little bit, just making it not nearly as strong, but it's still going to be very, very strong. And then same thing with Silver Edge. This item I think was going to be way too good. You were seeing it getting picked up on Sven, obviously Slark, pretty much a lot of heroes. This item would be really, really good for with that extra crit, that extra damage. So they're just kind of nerfing it a little bit by increasing its cost overall. So with these cost changes, basically doesn't change the item all that much. It just makes it a little bit more expensive, so it's a little bit harder to get. It costs more. It's not as easy of an investment. So it's not like they're nerfing the item and what it actually does. It still does the same thing. So when you get it, if you still are able to get it at a good timing, it can still be really powerful. It just kind of delays the timing a bit, so it's not as crazy as early as it otherwise would be. So that's the main thing for the item changes. The next thing we're going to look at obviously is the hero changes, and Beastmaster, just level 15 talent is changed a little bit so that his controlled units get 100 less health. So 350 health before, now 250 health. So it's just a little bit of a nerf to his controlled units, and obviously for that Helm of the Overlord, that ancient creep just has 100 less health. It's not the biggest of deals, but it's enough to just make it a little bit weaker, but not all that much weaker. I don't think it'll change whether or not Beastmaster is going to get picked or not, just making it slightly weaker. And then Broodmother, this is a change I don't like at all, honestly, because if Broodmother is terrible, which it might be, I don't think anyone is going to complain about that. So I don't think there's any really need to buff this hero, considering last patch it was completely ridiculous. Obviously, they nerfed it pretty hard with the way that the webs, change movement speed and stuff based on health, but I think that new Ags could potentially be broken, and if they're buffing it in these other ways, it might actually make the hero good in just a different way than it was last patch. So we'll have to wait and see, obviously, but I just don't like, that they're buffing this hero. It's kind of annoying with, increased agility growth and more damage on Insatiable Hunger. It's just small buffs, not a big deal. So if the hero's bad, it's just going to be bad. But still, if it is good, then these things just give it that extra bit of boost, which I think people are underestimating how good that Ags could be. And then next we'll go to Lykan. So armor reduction reduced. Basically, he doesn't, Hal just doesn't reduce armor as much it's just 1 at all levels, so it's not the biggest of deals. Only 1 armor, not a huge nerf. And then level 10 talent from plus 20 summon wolves damage to plus 15 damage for the wolves. And again, 1 less armor that you're reducing other people's armor with Hal, and 5 less damage for the wolves. It's not the biggest of deals, but I don't think it'll change how the hero is going to get picked or not, or when it'll get picked, but I think it's just small nerfs to not make it so OP. And obviously then the wolves can't just go off on their own and just completely demolish buildings as much as they could before, but they're still really, really good, obviously. And then the last two, Silencer. I don't like that they nerfed this hero either. Obviously, there was ways that he was going to be good. Maybe as a core position, he was pretty good support, obviously, with his talents now. But still, they obviously reduced the Arcane Curse slow to 8% from 10%, and the last word multiplier from 1.5 to 1.2, and this is level 15 and then level 20 talents. And so it's just a little bit worse overall in the carry or mid position or whatever you want to say, which is kind of disappointing because I think this hero hasn't been played professionally in a long time as far as I can remember. And I think the last time it was played, it was just probably a 5 position that would just click alt during random team fights. So to have this hero become more of a core would be pretty cool. I mean, maybe it's just kind of one of those OD situations where if it's really good, then it's so good and it's very annoying. But it just kind of, I don't like when they do this kind of thing to nerf a hero after it was just really good, just because, you know, it came back. So a little bit disappointing there, but I don't think it's the biggest of the deal, just the talent nerf. So not the worst thing ever. And then Slark, obviously he's one of my favorite heroes, so I don't like to see him get nerfed, but obviously he was buffed so much. They just increased the mana cost and then reduced the level 15 talent so that the Dark Pact does less damage. And actually, I think that you may just pick the other talent now. I mean, you probably still pick this one because it's good, but 70 damage is so much less than what it was. It was a level 20 talent. It was 120 damage before, and that would just clear through creep waves. Now, if this, I mean, I would have to test the numbers exactly, but I don't even know if this clears through creep waves. I don't think it did even before. And now, I mean, obviously it adjusts because creep waves gain HP over time and stuff like that, but I don't even know that this is that much worth it now. I mean, it still is because of the way they changed Dark Pact to do less damage to himself, so it's still pretty good, and I think you may still get this talent, but I don't know, it just makes this talent worse overall, and maybe now you will go the 50 Shadow Dance attack speed. That might be something that people go. I'm not sure. It's just hard to say. And then, obviously, it just means you need to be careful with your mana, or if you're spamming it a bunch, because you get this -1 second Dark Pact cooldown. It just, you might have more mana problems with Slark than you otherwise did before. He's always a hero that needs mana regen, buys Echo Saber and those kinds of things. So we'll see how that affects the hero. I think the hero's still going to be really, really good, but just makes him slightly less annoying, I think, for pubs and other things like that. But I still think he's going to be good and picked up in pro matches. So that is the patch 7.30B. I think they're just minor, adjustments for the really overpowered heroes. I'm surprised that they buffed Broodmother. It's kind of very weird to me. I don't see why they would do that. That's the weirdest part of all. Buffing Broodmother and nerfing Silencer, I think, are the two weirdest ones that I don't think should have happened. But otherwise, they all generally make sense, even though I don't like seeing Slark nerf because he's one of my favorite heroes. So anyway, that is my analysis. That's the quick overview of this patch 7.30B. As always, guys, if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, all those kinds of things. If you want me to take a look at one of your replay reviews, I'd be happy to do so. Just let me know in the comments. And look for, in the next few weeks, I'll probably be making a Discord. We'll make kind of a community where you can request replay reviews and other things like that, even probably one-on-one coaching. So look forward to that. And as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.